Spinderella cut it up one time. Ooh.
Welcome to our happy hour podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
4 girls and a mic.
Here to discuss matters we want to talk about.
Things people don't dare to talk about.
Or just too scared to talk about.
Stuff that you want to talk about.
So whatever it is, grab a drink and let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about
Yeah.
it. All right.
So we have a guest today, first of all, right?
Yes, we do.
What do you go by? Do you want us to call you Voyce or Steven, or how does it go?
Yeah, let's go by. I don't know. I think everyone's more comfortable with Steven, but it's Voyce.
Voice.
Voice with a star. The star is silent.
Oh shit!
He's actually a famous singer here in Canada. So welcome, Voyce.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Can I do weird accents? Because I will do weird
Absolutely.
accents. Oh, yeah.
All right. So first of all, social media, guys.
Okay.
How do you feel about social media?
I love it.
You love it?
I love it. It saved my life. Oh my goodness. I think it's amazing.
All right. Why?
Well, you get to express yourself. You get to put out your inner thoughts that you get to have the opportunity to do that. You see people doing it. You get a little bit more bold. You bring yourself out. You have an opportunity to reach people you won't normally, I love it for that. As a downside.
What's the downside?
There's stupid people online.
I was saying that the other day, right? That I find that social media and internet and all that is now stupid people just gather in groups and they just they find themselves and they're and they just go on those crusades and they're and they make groups and Facebook events and all sorts of things. Before there used to be 2 or 3, but they didn't know each other. So it's just that dumb person in your crew or in your area, and it was fine. But now there's cliques.
Yeah.
And I also find that me as at my age, 28, I find that it's cool. Social media, I'm totally down with it. I'm you know what? I can use it. I know who I am, But as a teenager, I don't even know how to do it.
It's true.
You're a teenager and you're trying to find yourself. You're trying to be accepted. You're trying to be cool. And it's just I don't know. I think, you know what I mean? I think it's pressure. I don't know how to do it. I'm glad social media came in now for me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, really though? I don't want to be 15 on Instagram. I hate my life. Are you kidding? Morning. Breakfast, snap, selfie. Everything's perfect on you.
Right?
I hate you so much. You have a cool boyfriend. You can talk about it and people talking about you and I can see it. I hate that. But now.
But adults are doing the same thing.
Yeah, girl.
People Facebook. People are creeping people's walls, see what they're up to, So adults are doing it too.
You don't even need the high school reunions anymore.
You don't.
You know what's happening. You don't need to see them.
No.
I know what Julie's doing. I need to see her.
And you're I don't know what to do with that.
Or when I'm really upset, I have been guilty of going on some rampage on my wall of showing that I'm angry.
Which is nice. I mean, you're expressing yourself at that point.
Well, it depends.
That's the thing. That's
what is
question.
social media for everybody? For me, personally.
What's too much?
Facebook, I use it as a blog.
Yeah.
That's what I use Facebook for.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's the same for everybody. What is it for you guys? What's Facebook for you guys?
I don't know. For me, Facebook is a way to communicate with the world. Like I said before, I mean, I don't have to go to my high school reunion anymore because everybody that I want to find out what's in their life, I just have to check it out on Facebook. It's a great way to keep contact also with members of my family that are far away,
Yeah.
But that's the thing. How much is too much? How much sharing is too much? I don't know. I get uncomfortable when people are just posting so many pictures of their babies. And I think baby pictures are adorable.
Yeah.
But it's it's a baby.
Yeah.
And he can't say anything about it. Before it used to be hey, come to my house. You're going to see my baby album. Oh my God. me in the bath. Oh, so embarrassing. And now it's on Facebook.
But that's the thing. There's too many things on Facebook.
I'm kind of happy. I like all those pictures of me when I was in the bathroom looking stupid. They make me happy.
But they're in an album. They're not on Facebook.
Yeah, but who is going to find out, okay, I want to get this person when they're 55 years old. I saw your baby picture. I can trace you. The chances are...
Yeah, but there's something messed up about it now. Like Facebook etiquette. Now it's like when someone's snapping a picture of you, you have to say, like, please do not put it online. Like, you have to assume that whatever picture is being snapped is going to go online. Before it was like, hey, I'm going to take that picture of you and we're going to go to Jean Coutu and we're going to make that freaking little camera, get it developed, whatever, and then we're going to have double copies for everyone, you know? And then you get to choose what picture you want.
You like glossy or matte?
Yeah, exactly. And now it's like,
days.
now it's like, forget about it. If they snap a picture of you, it's going to be online. Like, I went to this event 2 weeks ago and I was just complaining about it, and it might be banal, but I'm just saying, like, I looked pretty cute that night. I did. I had a cute little gloss on, I had a cute little outfit on. These people snap pictures of me in the most awkward moments, and then they decided to throw some sepia on it. I'm just saying, I looked all bumpy and weird, and I was like, really? And I had no choice and no say as to where those pictures were going to be. I had to accept that by going to this event, I was going to be online. You know, and I find that there's something crazy about that. It's like privacy, zero.
I agree because, for instance, I don't put settings where I'm at, and I don't want people to know where I'm at 24/7. And if I'm at an event and a picture is being snapped, people know where I am. You can't even stop it.
Can I say one thing? Okay. We used to be able to read messages, and then decide when we were going to reply. Now I gotta do this whole thing where I see someone writes to me and I'm like, shit, I read the first few words, I'm like, okay, am I willing to click on the message, open it, and then the person's gonna see seen at 4:03 p.m. And if you don't answer within the hour, the person's taking it personally. And then
it's psychological damage.
There's no.
I think it's the worst Facebook thing that they added. It's the worst.
It's the worst.
It's so stressful. Yeah,
it
requires management.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you have to manage people's emotions and when you interact and
potential reactions.
You know, and then it's just like, I saw your message, but something came up or I forgot.
Oh my goodness! No, I will not tolerate that. Please speak up.
I'm gonna be the person to give social media a little positive spin here, guys.
I was saying
tagging it. But I don't know. I mean, as an artist, one of the issues I had before social media became this big buzz is that it's hard to get the word out. It's hard for people to know who you are because you're really kind of stuck in your little circle, and getting music out there is hard. I found with social media, it's made it so much easier, and I find people that are a little smarter about how they, I guess, brand themselves and put themselves out there can really make a difference and really become more visible. And I don't know, I kind of coined a phrase or a word, I call it fanship. It's kind of like mixing friendship and fans. Like because of Instagram and things like that, I get to kind of become almost friends with the fans I'm attached to. And I know a lot of people, and I'm not gonna mention names, but they're so someone writes on their wall, they're like, oh my god, it's stalking me, blah 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 blah, and I'm just like, maybe yes, but maybe no, and
they're just trying to be friendly.
They're trying to be friendly.
Put your ego in check.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, since I've understood that, I just feel like social media has almost become like an outlet for me to kind of put my music out there. But at the same time, where before you put your song out there, it was on the radio, all the people heard was a song, and that was it. Now people can get to know you as a person, and you can really.
I agree with that.
That's a very valuable point.
Yeah. I wanted to say that was something I did want to bring up because, I have family back home, and we never got to really know each other. We know each other, we love each other, but we don't get to know each other. And sometimes my uncles will write me, and they're like, you know what? I didn't realize what kind of person you were. Like, we get to know each other without the weird conversation that takes place when you're face to face.
Yeah.
I find that it dissolves certain barriers as well. It allows you to come out. They don't have to see your whole life to know what your heart really is,
I agree.
I agree. I think it's a good point, but I also think that you can, maybe you use it to show a certain part of you that's that your uncles didn't get the chance to see. But I find that what most people do on social media is just kind of make up this image and just push it down everyone's throats. It's just like, look at my perfect life. It's so awesome. I'm always on a trip. I don't even have a job.
Mhm.
You know?
But
that
I don't.
depends on the person, though.
Yeah.
It always depends on the
Because
person.
I use it as a personal blog.
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty raw on my page. If anybody goes on my wall, I'm pretty raw on my wall. Like,
Yeah.
I will express, and hey, if that's too much for you, you don't need to go on my wall.
Mm.
You don't need to read it. You don't need to comment. You don't have to do any of that.
Mm.
And I guess some people hide behind.
But that's the thing.
I don't, personally.
Do you really? Yeah, okay. But
Yeah.
do you really get to know somebody through social media?
People
But
could definitely get to
sometimes-
know me through
But-
my
Sometimes you
wall,
don't
for
need to
sure.
do that. Like, for example, Asa, I've seen some posts that we post back to each other, and sometimes it's kind of like just, or even you, Sybil.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're just saying, here's our dream. I want to remind you. Like, you
Yeah.
can also, to me, when I see
Inspiration.
people do that, I feel like they're building consciously who they really want to be. They're expressing their highest self, whether they know they're doing that or not.
Some people do
They're
that.
Some people, but I see what Deanne's saying,
Some people are lost.
where it's true. There's people posting things that are unrealistic. I see what she's saying.
Yeah.
It's easy to create a life. It's
It's
easy. It's easy to make believe. You know.
Yeah.
People also get brave. Because
Yes.
they're able to talk about their, they'll go on a rampage politically, for instance, and then they won't do anything socially, but they're hiding behind their computer, ranting and raving about social things and political things.
But is that brave though?
No, that's what I mean. They're brave on the computer.
Yeah.
Behind the screen, they're brave.
So they're like hiding behind their computer.
Pretty much. It's like you could express whatever you want, but are you really going out and making a change? No, you're not.
Mhm.
But you're like,
What were you going to say?
No, I was just gonna say that, like, I mean, I personally feel it's a little less about social media and just kind of more about human nature in general. Like in general, like I know people who, can I swear?
Yeah.
I know people who just like,
Please
I mean,
Please.
they create bullshit lives. You meet them in person,
By all
and they're all
means.
like, "Yes, I'm having the time of my life," and you're just like, you're so full of shit. And like they do it in person. There's no big difference between all social media does is allows people to be more full of shit to a lot more people.
I
And
like
then-
that.
Yeah.
but can I ask you something? Do you find it's obvious when someone's like creating a persona on social media? Do you think it's like opposed to someone that's being themselves? Could you see the difference?
I mean, yeah, you can. I personally think you can see the difference in like. I mean, it's up to you at that point to pay attention or not. Like it's like the real world. If someone's being a douche, I can choose to hang out with him still, or just be like, yeah, like just. So it's like social media. Like I mean, I personally have no problem with social media just because I ignore what I don't want to see,
There you go.
and I focus
Yeah.
on what I want to see. And people
I
are
agree.
gonna be people. People are gonna, they're gonna be people posting like half naked photos of themselves and getting themselves like 100 million views. And deep down inside, I'm like, I hate that shit. But like, I'm not gonna go on the wall every day.
I don't always hate that.
But you know what? To each their own. There's an audience for everything. Right?
Exactly.
There's an
And you're
audience for
reaching your audience.
Exactly. You're reaching your audience. Like I said, I know I'm very much aware that my wall's not for everybody. I am aware. But
Yeah.
I actually get inboxed and people thanking me.
Yeah.
Thanking me for like inspiring them with something or some message, a quote that I put up. Like I get a lot of messages of people telling me that. Or even with shoes. I post a lot of high heels. I actually get a lot of messages in private about that. Even from men saying, you know what, I didn't get the whole high heel thing. I got my girlfriend high heels because it inspired me. Like even things like that.
That's
Mm.
nice.
So like,
Pretty cool,
so like the whole point is to be able to like reach out to a lot of people, but it's like, who are you reaching out to? You know what I mean? Everybody's finding their audience.
Right.
You know? That's the cool thing about social media in general.
Yeah.
But
And it evolves too, right?
what's that?
It evolves as well. Your use of social media changes
Mhm.
with time. If your people change, your relationship with it changes.
And depending on your mood too.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like, it depends.
That's why there's so many, like, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's Snapchat, there's, you know?
Yeah.
No, and I think it could bring good dialogue. Like I've had amazing conversations on Facebook,
Yeah.
with friends, and then other people came into the conversation, and it really became like on really serious topics as well. So that's the positive side. However, I do think we are in an era where it's also become a crutch,
Yeah.
meaning that,
Agree.
people will go first to social media instead of picking up a phone and calling somebody.
God
How
damn.
are you? You know?
But something, you're saying that, and something as simple as that, like, I was trying to find out if my sister was gonna make it to an appointment.
Yeah.
And I'm there, and I'm like, oh, like, I really need to find out. It's in an hour, and I start texting her, like frantically. I'm like, oh, I need an answer, and I'm like, why don't I just call her?
Yeah.
And it was, I had to realize that I could call her, that I could use my phone that was,
invented to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my first instinct was like, I should text her. Oh, maybe I send her a message on Facebook. It's like, no, call her.
Yeah, and let me ask you guys something. How many of you wake up in the morning and first thing you do is check your cell phone?
You know what? I used to do that.
Yeah.
And I had to consciously tell myself to not do it. Like, I was like, you know what? This is not the first thing I want to do in the morning. When I wake up, I want to, like, take a moment for me, or,
Some coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take a moment. Because I find, you're asking that question. It's such a good question. Because, what I used to do? I used to just lay in bed.
Mm-hmm.
You take your phone. You're not even awake.
Yeah.
You're not even awake.
Yeah.
And you grab your phone, open up the Facebook app, and start scrolling.
Yeah.
And this is the beginning of your day. Looking at other people's lives. You're not even out of bed. Hey, I haven't even gone to the bathroom yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Didn't brush your teeth.
Nothing. And you're just scrolling there. And
Yeah.
I realized I was spending like an hour.
Wow.
And like, I need to pee. Like, my bladder is telling me, like, yo, what are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
It's true.
Water.
Our dad, how old is he? 65, 66. He's only recently joined Facebook. I'm pretty proud of him. He's pretty on it tech-wise,
good.
One day I was there and I come home and he's on the computer and he's like, Asa. I'm like, yes. He's like, this Facebook thing, huh? It is crazy. He's like, I've been here for an hour. What am I doing? I'm not doing anything, but I'm here. I'm on Facebook.
It's
Facebook
addictive.
always. It is addictive.
It is addictive. And you know what? It's terrible to wake up like that.
Yeah.
It's also sad because I see couples at restaurants,
Yeah.
not even talking to each other, not even communicating. They're on their phones. Or friends out, and they're all on their phones.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's taking away from human interaction, and that's where I see that, like, there has to be a limit.
There has to be a balance. But it's like any new thing, right? Like, it's a new...
But it's not new anymore.
Yeah. But it's relatively new.
I think people are all going to have to find a way to, like, it's just a new level of being able to control yourself. Some people are not going to make it. They're going to go cray-cray on Facebook. They're going to do crazy things. But the population, the collective, is learning to have a bit more discipline on certain levels. They're learning to be more disciplined. Mm-hmm. But when you learn how to say, okay, like what you were saying, the day I don't go to Facebook first, it's not even, I can't even pinpoint. My day is good. I have a good day. I feel on top of things, and I can choose when I go and interact. But it's also because of that thing you guys were saying. Someone sent me a message. I didn't respond. It's been 6 hours. Oh my God. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, but that's choice. I think it also...
Even if I read it, I might not want to type to you right now. I may be doing something.
I might be doing something.
I clicked on it to see.
But that's why I'm saying, it's like, right now, I feel like it's a good time for me, where I am, to have to manage all that.
Right.
Because I'm a grown-ass woman. But, like, if I was younger or, like, in a different place, it's pressure. It's management. It's management. And I think you have to choose yourself first. And like you were saying, we're gonna have to adapt. It's just an adaptation. It's like any technology that happened throughout the ages, throughout our history as human beings. It was always like, this is crazy. What are we going to do? Ban it. Get rid of it.
No, there's no turning back at this point.
I mean,
can you imagine they shut down Facebook? Even riots outside. There could be people dying. Okay, no one's going out. No one's going out to riot for, like, social causes. But I guarantee you,
if they shut down Facebook, forget about it.
There's going to be problems.
That's a war I'm willing to fight for. But I don't want to fight atomic bombs. I want to fight the Facebook.
There's another thing going on, is that it's generating a lot of money. Voyce said something. He promotes his music.
Yeah.
Asa also promotes where she's performing.
Yeah.
right? So indirectly, they are making money off of social media indirectly.
Yeah.
Not to mention the advertisers. Not to mention, well, let's
or
not
the
even...
Instagram models.
Exactly.
That movement.
You know, I have a friend of mine, she's in fitness.
Yeah.
And she has pictures of herself up on Instagram, and she's gotten offers through Instagram. So it's a very good source for people also to make money. I mean, there's positive things, but I think, you know, it's the balance.
I think
it's a balance.
Yeah.
I think
you can use a knife to... Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
That was it sounded like a good metaphor. Let's go.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. Let me prepare myself. You can use a knife to cut a steak. Or you can use a knife to kill somebody who really pissed you off. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I wish you could catch my face when I did that. But you have something to say.
I was going to take you said the right word. It's all about management. And like, I mean, like personally in the morning I wake up and like I have a regime where in the morning I wake up and on Instagram I post certain things at certain times. 9 a.m. I post like a funny meme. And it's usually because like it gets people on my Instagram laughing, blah, blah, blah. But like it's really all about management. I think once you understand what each social media is used for and you know how to exploit that.
Absolutely.
I
mean, use that for the best of mankind.
Okay, so that's it. You have to use social media and not let social media use you.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
but in your case,
so hard. It's the worst thing.
In your case, I understand where you're managing. Okay, at this time, I'm going to post this meme.
Yeah.
You have a fan base.
Yeah.
I've seen your fan base on Instagram. It's huge.
Bravo, by
You want
the
to
way.
plug it?
Oh, my Instagram is instagram.com/voice music. That's the VOYCE. Yes.
There are some really cool selfies. You need to ask him how he does
Yes.
selfies.
And make sure you check out his
Wow.
music. He's got some videos on there too.
#self.
What is it? Beautiful pain?
Beautiful pain. That'll be it. That'll be beautiful pain on YouTube.com. Just go to voicemusic.com. VOYCE music.com. Beautiful pain. #.
I wanna congratulate you on that video because
Thank you.
I really love seeing your work. I'm very proud of what you do. I'm very impressed. And I love that you use the connections that you have. Like Francis's work has become so... I see the value of his work. Francis Ward, by the way.
Who did?
Anywho, he's the photographer.
Yeah.
The video.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I'm glad to see how you have such a good workflow.
Thank you.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, it's nice going to check out your stuff because you actually have really good photography.
Thank you.
So, you know, it's different for artists, I think. You know, like going back to what I was saying, you post things at certain times, but you have a fan base.
Yeah.
So it's normal. I get that. But when you have to start managing because of people's emotions and the psychology behind it, that's a problem. You know, and some social media is designed in a way that if you don't manage it constantly, you're going to lose followers.
Yeah.
It's not like Facebook. Facebook, you have to accept an invitation, this, that. You can block your wall. Instagram, if you're not on for 3 days,
you're done.
You've just lost. You've lost 10, 15, 20 followers.
Yeah.
Really?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Or if you're not posting what they're used to, you're going to lose followers.
Oh, I have to challenge that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not accepting because you can't kill me like that.
See, that's the thing. That's where we come back to what we just came to is that don't let social media use you, right?
Yeah.
So like if you're on Instagram and you're having a good time or you're like Voice and you're using that to get across to your fans and get more fans and, you know, expand, that's great. But if you're starting to have anxiety because you're losing followers, or like you're like buying those programs where you get like fake followers,
or with relationships. Sorry, by the way.
Oh,
I just want no, but really in
go
relationships.
ahead. It's
Right
good,
now,
definitely good.
in
to talk about that.
relationships, we can literally lose our shit because of a Facebook post.
Yes,
It could
true.
Your day
Or someone commenting.
Or not commenting.
and
No,
or not
someone
silence. That means
or somebody commenting on that post
oh my god.
of somebody else, and you're just like, who is that person?
Yeah.
Facebook has officially brought in so many reasons to have a heart attack. And
Right?
And I just suggest, please, that we might want to do something.
Let's
about
pace
that.
ourselves.
Let's check ourselves.
It's tight.
Pace yourselves, people.
It's letters and bits and stuff. Don't.
I think
Stop
it's like
doing
anything, like any technology. People are going to use it wrong. People are going to use it right. At some point, it kind of finds its middle ground and settles in. But personally, me though, like even before I started advertising myself on my music and stuff like that on Facebook, I mean, I was I've always been relatively shy, and I still am. I think it's more now that I'm more open, but I've been relatively shy and kind of had a hard time kind of express myself to people. And I found because of social media, it let me kind of just say from the safety of I didn't really feel like fear. And then because I did that, people kind of responded to that and then it made me become more comfortable with doing that. And because of social media, I'm more of a social person in the real world.
Wow,
like, so,
not everyone. That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's not everyone.
That's
so
the other side
not
of it.
exactly.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Do you want to finish your thought?
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say that, like, some people are gonna hide, and that's all where they're gonna be. That's all they can do. And I don't know. It's true. I mean, people always make fun of that guy, like, like in his basement on his computer, and he's like commenting and stuff. But like, you know what? Social media gave him something. Like in the real world, people ignored his ass, and then he finds some sort of solace. Then power to him. I'm not pro the person who uses like YouTube and comments and like bashes everybody. I hate that person. But like.
What are you so angry about? To type takes time. Seriously, like you really typed back.
People
do you know what I do?
Sorry,
people come on my wall with some shade. Delete. I don't need to have you there.
Block.
It happened the other day. Remember, Asa?
Yeah, people are haters.
But I'd like to address something.
Go ahead.
Actually.
Yeah.
We are ladies here and one man.
I'm a dude.
So
I'm a dude.
But I'd like to address something that affects a lot of women.
Please do.
It's very, very bothersome. Men that are looking to hook up through social media. And that's fine. You want to meet people through social media, that's good. Have a bit of respect. Do not send me a random dick pic.
Please don't.
I don't know you. You have not even said hello. My name is. And I have a picture of your dick in my inbox. Why is this happening?
First thing in the morning. Like, can we not do that?
I don't care at what time. But I agree with you. I don't want to wake up in the morning, have my coffee, go check my messages, and boom.
And there's no face too.
No.
It's just a dick. And you're like, what?
But if it's first thing in the morning, you have to give him credit for like his timing, because every morning guys wake up with a little issue. So he's just like, well, it's here.
Oh my God.
It's like,
while it's there, all its glory.
His timing is perfect. It's impeccable.
What's the good time to send it so you might not
There is no good time to send it.
Okay,
unless I have an intimate relationship, with your dick, it shouldn't be sent to my inbox.
That's true.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know you.
Why?
And
maybe you could help us on that.
Please.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. I'm not a dick picker.
You're not a dick picker.
I'm not a dick picture.
No, from a man's standpoint.
No, I don't pick dicks either. I don't know.
How did we go from sending women, a mixtape, then it got to a playlist, and now 2015, we're sending dick pics.
What's
happening?
They were doing it when text messaging.
You guys didn't send us the memo.
That's it. I just think honestly, it's just changing technology. Back then, guys would give girls mixtapes of like nothing but love, like sex songs. They were like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't see
you feel
nothing
me?
wrong.
And before that, it was like a drawing. I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So guys, most douchebags are gonna keep doing. You know what I'm saying? And some eventually it's gonna be like,
guess what? We like the songs better.
Yeah, actually.
Let's go backwards.
Listen, no, there are men still sending songs, and that's great. Okay, and you know what? We have YouTube now, so you post on my wall a song, all of that, like that's nice.
Okay, that should be playlist. Can we have a playlist of the acceptable songs to send in the event that you want to send a dick pic?
No, there's
no. There should be no dick pic sending in general.
No, let's say the person has the urge. We're providing therapy now. Let's help them out.
No.
Okay, let's be open.
Let's
be open, please.
I'm just gonna say, please consider this as therapy. This is arts therapy and music therapy. If you feel the urge to send a dick pic, open a YouTube account and just create a playlist of the kind of songs that you would want to send instead that represents that. And leave it online.
Yes.
The people who want those seeds, they will come to you.
Right?
Oh, okay. Sorry, we were shutting your idea down, but
that's a pretty good idea.
That's a good idea.
And while you're at it, you should search "Beautiful Pain." let's get some substance in there, shall we?
Actually, you know what? You know what? I did use your song.
Oh, yes.
Yes, subliminal messages.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. Okay, so no.
When did
Last
you do
year.
That's another thing.
No, it wasn't subliminal. I put it on my wall. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I did do that because it's a beautiful song.
It is.
But so,
Okay.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Another thing that we do, that people do, you just go on somebody's wall and just put something there. It's like planting a seed, and you're just waiting for the person to react. You know? And it's just like, oh, but why are you freaking out?
Yeah.
I've had
This
something
is
happen,
nothing.
and I really
Passive aggressiveness.
Well, no, but
to
there's
fullest.
but there's two ways to look at that because
Yeah.
that could be done in a negative way, and that could also be done, you know, when there's
Flirtatious.
nonverbal communication. So you're gonna put something subliminal, but the person knows what you mean.
And you know what you mean.
But sometimes you could use that to screw
you know
somebody's
what?
head.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
but sometimes you don't know what they mean. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes someone posts a song and you're like, okay, so in the track, the dude says that he into the girl. Do you mean that you're into me? Or do you just like the beat? Or what? What are you trying to say?
No, but you know what?
He's trying to say he really likes the vocals.
That's it. No, but that's good. That's a good point. But I think that's a deeper problem. I think that's and I don't know where this book, if the book exists, it's called Decoding Men. I would like
On Facebook. Decoding Men on Facebook.
No, Decoding Men, period.
Yes. On Facebook.
No, not on Facebook. Because, listen, I don't get it.
You know what's
And
funny,
it's
though?
not only on social media.
Psychological
Well, no,
warfare.
our men.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, it's really funny because, like, I hang out obviously with guys too, and I actually went to a chalet with some guys, and like, I couldn't drink, but they were getting wasted, and they started talking about girls, just like, we don't understand girls, and I was just sitting there going, like, I don't.
Tell us what they said.
But
Yes, yes,
I
do
can't
tell us
break the
what
code. I can't. All the guys will murder me.
Oh,
But they're like, but it's funny because guys will say they don't understand women. Women will say they don't understand men. I don't know. I just no one understands anybody.
Podcast
Like,
about it.
what? Does anyone understand anybody? I don't
You know
know.
what? I'm okay without
you know-
understanding people now. I am. I just want to say this. I'm very okay with it. I don't need to understand
speaking of
everything
which.
about you. I just know that I like you people.
Mm-hmm. And we love you, Chi-Chi.
There's a lot of love in the
Love
room.
fest.
Guys, let's just face it. Spring's coming. That's why.
I know somebody
Oh,
who
okay,
gives-
okay. So we're talking about spring.
Let's
so
talk
we
about
know things are
spring.
gonna start
Well,
warming up. People are gonna start, taking out their little black notebook and be like, "Hey, okay."
People already
Yes.
started.
Yeah.
yo.
Okay.
The
So-
Black Notebook?
The little
Oh,
black
I have
book.
okay. So
Oh, please. Like,
What's
you don't
the
have... No. Wait
no,
a minute.
I have a theory.
Wait a minute. He said, what is the little black
Yeah.
You guys invented it. Before it used to be a book. Now it's your phone.
Okay, there you
Yes.
go. That's what I was wondering.
Oh, the list of ladies that you call, I'm bored today. or, I need a booty call. Or, this is what I feel like today. So Sandra will be good for this. Or Marigold. Anyways.
Marigold.
Like,
That's
what
what I
is this?
said.
1880?
Marigold, yes.
So that's the little,
Marigold.
that's the little
It
black
won't be
book.
much.
Yeah. Okay. I was wondering what it was.
That's the little
Okay.
black book.
So I have this theory, okay? Because
Right.
in my personal life,
Yes.
I've had countless. I've had many guys hit me up after like a huge amount of time. You know,
Yeah.
like we went on 2 dates, didn't really click for me,
Mm.
and I was like, oh, whatever. And then like 3 months later, they'd be like, hey girl, what you up to? Blah blah
Freeze
blah.
frame.
Or even a guy that I basically told him, hey, you know what? It's not gonna work out. Have a good life.
Mm-hmm.
If I say have a good life,
Wow.
Get out.
doesn't that mean I think we're never gonna see each other again?
Yes.
Yes.
And I kind of hope for that.
Yeah.
But I hope you have a good life on your side of the world.
Yes.
And then he called me. He called me back.
Wow.
I had to put in my phone, do not pick up.
Wow.
Girl, I have men that I have not
So
spoken
fortunate.
to in 5, 6, 8 years. And they contact me. They're talking as if it was 8 years ago. Actually, Ace and I came up with a name for that.
What is it?
Freeze frame. So,
Yeah.
okay, can I explain the
Yes,
the
yes.
concept? So, freeze frame, ladies and gentlemen,
Mhm.
is the concept where you have a story with somebody, And then, it ends. In your mind, on your side of the freaking spectrum.
Yeah, you told him
the
that
story is over, right? It's done, exactly. So say in Diane's case, she said it's over. Dude's there, freeze, blocks the information right there, leaves it at that, lets months go by. And I think there's a weird thing where they think that if they disappear and then reappear, you kind of forgot.
Or it's a
what
new
happened.
guy. It's a new opportunity.
Exactly.
It's a new moment.
Right? So there you go. So freeze frame is when a dude, something happens, you guys lose contact, you cut the cord, whatever you want to call it. You just don't talk to the person anymore. And then they show up months later as if nothing happened. They're like, hey, why are you acting weird? Why are you, why?
Let's pick up where we left it. I said goodbye.
Yes.
Freeze frame.
Yes.
That's great.
It's freeze frame. With some people, it makes absolute sense. Okay? But when it's those situations. I'm sorry. 8 years later? Wow.
Dude.
Hashtag freeze frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, really though.
Do you have a freeze frame?
Yeah, do you have a freeze frame?
No, girl. Actually, to be fair, girls do the same though. Even the whole booty call thing, the freeze frame thing.
Oh,
girls,
okay, booty call. Yeah,
we do booty call.
But I'm talking about freeze frame. Do you have freeze frame?
Oh yeah, but I actually had an ultimate one. There was not really a freeze frame. It was just a girl. I had wrote her in 2010. And then I got a text 2 days ago, and it was just oh, hey, I'm so sorry. I never.
5 years later.
I'm so sorry. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I have the message here somewhere. She's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't get a message.
That's more hey, Voice is blowing up.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, next thing you'll be getting, I'd like you to meet your daughter.
Yeah.
Oh,
my God.
Hey, Jesus, somebody's papa was
like,
dying.
No,
that's great. Because people, nowadays, you can't be disconnected, right?
Yeah.
So you send a message to somebody, and then they're they don't answer. For a normal amount of time for me is 24 hours. Whatever, you went about your day, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then it's but I see you posting all this stuff. Though,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're yo, sorry, I didn't see your message. It's no, you saw it though.
You saw it,
my
you read
message.
it, you ignored it.
Yeah.
Own it.
You saw that message because now, we have this Facebook scene and all that, and you have to manage people's emotions and everything. So I know you saw my message.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I didn't have my phone. Who doesn't have their phone?
Yeah, exactly.
Who doesn't have their phone? You have your phone. You know where your phone is. You don't know where your child is, but you know where your phone is.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is.
It's messed up, but it's true.
How about delusional people on social media? Delusional men
What do you mean?
on social media.
Explain.
I have an example.
Go ahead.
Great of the day. Great of the day. Great of the day. Okay, go girl.
Listen, when you don't know me on social media, don't act like you do. Don't act like you're in love with me. You've never met me. You never spoke on the phone with me. Matter of fact, we never had more dialogue than hi. Now, this guy on Instagram, I'm going to read this because it's unbelievable. He asks me, so he says, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. He goes, that's good. I still want to take you off the market. You're the best. So I'm like, thanks for what it's worth. I'm the best. He goes, I haven't wanted a woman as bad as I want you since I was breastfed.
First of all, never.
Wow, that was intense.
Don't bring up the mommy city.
Brought up the mama titties.
No, but it's okay. You can tell that he has a mother thing. So no.
Yeah, horrible.
Let her finish your story,
Please
but then
do.
we shall comment.
He's like, I'm for real though. So I said, how can you want me so bad? You don't know me.
Mm-hmm.
He says to me, your convo, you're beautiful, smart, and your posts are always great. That's all for now. I want to fly to see you.
Mm.
Now,
That's creepy.
that's
The
creepy.
men, they want
Thank
to
you.
That's creepy.
No.
Creepy.
That's very, 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 very extremely creepy.
Yeah, it is.
Okay? And this guy's all over my Instagram. It doesn't matter what I post. He's commenting everywhere. It's scary.
I have a question because I don't have Instagram.
Yeah.
Can you block people?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I'm about to
Mine
block.
is,
Yeah.
well, I don't know about block, but mine is closed.
You can block them though.
Private.
Mine's a private Instagram.
Okay.
Because I don't want that.
I can't have it.
Energy.
I don't want to have it private for other reasons.
Yeah.
No, but can you block
But
Yeah,
I'm
you can
about
block
to.
individuals.
No, I'm
Yeah,
about
you
to
can.
block. I'm about to block it. This was like 48 hours ago,
Mhm.
and I thought he'd start laughing or saying I'm just joking, or no, he's serious.
Yeah,
Oh my
dead
God.
serious.
Okay, so so can I just say?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Because this dude, he's on Instagram, right? And we were trying to say, because we did want to discuss how men try to pick up women. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Do
Let's
not
talk about
bring
it.
up breastfeeding as you're trying to
Thank
get
you.
close to me, buddy.
you.
Do not do it. Do
It's
not
not
do it.
cute. Kind of
It's
like
just not cute.
he puts the lotion in the basket.
Oh.
The lotion in the basket. I don't want to date you.
Just
I
don't.
don't want to date you.
I don't even want to get to know
Look,
you.
I
I
wasn't
don't.
rude. Did you guys think I was rude?
No, no.
You were.
You were so nice.
Okay,
Way
I
nice.
wasn't rude, but I was sarcastic.
Yeah.
Okay, you should get the picture.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you should get the picture. You keep going on. Now you're telling me you want to fly to see me?
I'm about to move.
You know, like, that's
And
just,
that's ironic.
like, what, yeah.
So she is.
First
so
of all-
don't find it help.
No, but this is not the thing. I never told him that I don't live where he lives.
Right.
So it's like, what are you doing? You're just stalking all my stuff to see where I live?
Yes, of course. But that's the thing. Now
But maybe he
you
hasn't
can
done
have
that.
all
and
that
maybe
information.
he hasn't done that. Maybe he's just putting it out there. Because there's some girls, literally, and I'm not criticizing anyone, I'm just saying, there's some girls who I've seen it on Instagram go, oh, you do want to see me, Pappy? Oh, baby, 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 baby. And they continue the conversation.
Yeah.
And he's just, that's his level of wanting to interact.
Yeah.
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 And
He
it's
might
just
not
you're not
have
the type
gone
of girl
through
who
all
wants that attention.
And
you
he'll
know?
get
No,
that
but
very
it's
quickly.
delusional.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely
And
delusional.
so many
scary.
delusional people out there,
Yeah.
and now they have social media. We said this
Yeah,
before.
it's delusional, and I have to agree with Asa. I mean, how do you think you're going to even get me to
Yeah,
have
so
a
that's
minimum of
creepy.
interest by telling me that? You know, and this is we wanted to talk about it, how men pick up women.
Honestly, I've been on Facebook and yeah, I do my thing. I try to do my thing, acting, music. This is me showing off totally. But yes, so I'm there and I have a few people approach me, private message wise, and they're like, "Hey, you're really cool. I saw I saw that you're friends with a friend of mine, and I wanted to know if you want to go for coffee." But they word it in a way that's so awkward and then leaves all of it in my hands. You know what I mean? There's nothing. It's like we haven't connected yet.
Yeah.
Nothing. They're like, I was wondering if ever one day you're free to hang out. Let me know. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Is that really?
I really understand that.
Ah.
I didn't want to bring it up
Yeah.
because I wanted to hear like the guy's perspective, and I was gonna,
Yeah.
But I find it very tiresome
Yeah.
in general when a person approaches me, you approach me, and then you introduce yourself and you say, "Oh, I really want to get to know you." Silence.
Yeah.
Ta-da, your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to see you. When? Where?
What's your plan?
Yeah.
Do you have a plan?
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, why put it in my hands? I'm feminine.
Yeah.
I don't want to plan our date. I don't know you yet.
You're
You
the one
want
who
to be-
approached me. Yeah.
See, I don't attract men like that.
People attract different types
Yeah.
of people. That's the thing. We all attract, and I would prefer sometimes someone to just say, "Hey, honey, I'm going to slap you over my shoulder, and I'm going to take you over there."
Those are the type of men I attract. I'm
When
just
you tell,
joking.
I
No,
live
you're not.
vicariously through you. I'm like,
She goes, no, you're not.
Tell me, where are you guys? Because I'm not your mommy, okay?
No.
I wasn't
But
gonna
I
talk
feel-
about this, and I am.
But there's like the two extremes, right? So there's the dudes that are like throwing the puck and they're like, your turn, just make the whole game.
Yeah.
You know, they just throw a puck like on the ice and like, go girl. You
Yeah.
know? And then there's the dudes, they're like, yo, I like you, dog. What are we gonna do about that?
That is true.
And you're like,
I don't know.
Is nothing okay? I don't know.
I don't know.
You know, I am now in the time of looking for a very good wife. Oh.
Okay, but
Tell me more.
those are extremes, but I don't know.
But life is
Girl,
about
you got
balance.
yourself some extremes. Don't go there, okay?
Well, I attract, that's a different story on the street.
On the street.
I call this is mine. I call it honeypot syndrome.
What is
Okay.
that?
It's
let
when,
Annie
for some
explain.
reason, you've unlocked, I don't know, a chakra or something's happened to you, and you're in your own space, and suddenly it's like, boom, boom, and all the guys come. oh, I gotta call this heifer right now because I don't know if I'm ever gonna get a chance again because I feel her. And they're all coming, and I'm like, really? I've never seen anything. I will officially say that on the air. I have literally never seen honeypot syndrome as I have in Diamond P. What's up?
Okay, so you've now told the whole world that my nickname's Diamond P.
And Diamond P, though.
Diamond P symbol is Diamond P.
Diamond P.
But you know what? I do find that in general, people come back like clockwork. Fine. Like, you know, every 3 months. Okay, so I have a dude. There's a dude from high school, okay? We had a little thing schmilling. We didn't even know what the fuck was going on then. Hormones, blah, blah, blah. No idea what was happening. And then every 3 months on the dot, homie texts me. And he's like, hey, it's been a while. Let's hang. And I'm like, all right, let me know when. And I swear, if you could see my phone, it's literally that. Hey, it's been a while. Let's hang. All right, let me know when. Hey, it's been a while. Let's hang. Let me know when. It's scary. It's like the Twilight Zone. You're like, yo, how many times? Dude, are you real?
I don't like predictable men.
No, but it's like, do you have this like history?
Because I can see your last message.
I can see
you
the
have to have
pattern.
compassion for those people. Come on. You know what? It's okay. They came out to play. They were like, can I play?
Well,
Yes, you can.
To be fair, it's not all guys though. Like,
No.
it's not all guys.
But that's what she said.
No.
I attract all different
types of guys.
There are suave men out there.
Except I never, ever, ever, ever attract effeminate men. I have a tendency to attract extremely alpha male.
Alpha.
I am where you at?
You know what?
Tell us something.
You know what?
Which I like because it's at least the man takes charge.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't want to be in this situation that they were talking about where it's like I have to plan everything.
You would get so mad. Oh please, I
just know. Look, I
It would be
have to
bad.
take charge in every other area in my life.
Right?
Yeah, I have to be very domineering in a lot of areas in my life. That is not one where I want to. It's like take charge. You know, just be like, you know, I planned. I don't know, dinner. Take me somewhere. Like, don't ask me.
Right?
Don't ask me if you don't have a plan.
And the thing is, it might annoy me for 2 seconds because you know what? I am used to like handling my shit all over the spectrum. But in the end, inside I'm gonna be like, alright, okay, well he took charge. But, you know what I mean? It's nice.
Sometimes I will take charge, but look, come on, it's the first time. Just say a day, a season.
And you're the one.
No. To me, it's not the first time.
I don't know.
I like a man that'll take charge all the time.
I agree.
You know what? I agree with that. I agree with that.
High five.
Wink, wink.
No,
High
I
five.
agree with that, but I think it's also nice. Like, I think that as much as we like when men take charge, as much as we like when men take charge, I think it's nice to return the favor. Everybody likes to be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? It's just a question of like, hey, I'm the one that came up to you and say, hey, I'm interested in knowing you. Don't make me go out and like find out what we're gonna do about this.
Don't get me wrong. I like a man that takes charge, but that doesn't mean I'm not taking care of my man.
I want to hear. I'm so sorry.
That does not mean.
I believe you.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Please finish your thought. Can I just put it out there? I really want to hear the guys' voice.
Yeah,
they're going to be like, these chickens wouldn't let the man speak. But please.
Finish your thoughts.
Please, I apologize. I should not.
You are forgiven, my love.
You because I want to hear. You take you.
No, I'm just saying. No,
you're worth the work.
No, that's not what I said.
You're saying you take care of your man.
Yeah, it's not because I don't want that to be misconstrued.
Yeah.
It's not because I like a man that takes charge and I'm not going to take care of my man or I won't be thoughtful of my man or attentive. I'm very attentive to a man.
Right.
So that doesn't mean I don't, return the favor just in a different way.
Yeah.
You
lead in your own way.
Yeah.
There you go.
I lead where I have to lead and I like him to lead where he needs to lead. And I think this is actually a social problem where the lines are getting very blurred. It's okay to be a woman.
Yeah.
You don't need to act like a man. It's okay. That doesn't mean you're weaker. It doesn't mean that you're whipped. It doesn't mean that you lose any power. it's okay to be feminine. It's okay to allow yourself to be, to have a man take charge. Doesn't make you any weaker.
Well, I like to think of women. It's just a thought that's coming to me, but I like to think of women, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do think
as it's not always the case, because women can be on different spectrums, but if you are feminine, to accept the fact that you are great at receiving attention and appreciation and focus, and that in whatever you'll make the experience that more joyful. Where you want to go, I want to be your companion, but I will make that entire experience, your path, much more enjoyable for you. That's for me the feminine extreme and the masculine extreme interaction. And if you find yourself along the path, accept it.
Yes.
To be a woman, to say, I'm a woman, I get emotional, I have feelings, I can get angry, I can tell you what's really going on, and that I want to be soft, and I want to be cared for, and I want to be loved, and I want to be touched, and I want to be desired. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But also I meant is like towards the man.
And you give.
You give. And a lot of women are getting that misconstrued. They think by giving to a man or whatever way you want to put it, submit to a man, okay, that makes you less powerful. I mean, I used to have a problem with it. Relinquishing control used to be a huge problem of mine. But I realized in the vulnerability, that's where your power really lies. And it's actually something really beautiful.
I agree
to share that with someone.
I agree.
To feel safe enough to do that.
But I think like on the whole like feminine masculine thing, I think there's like a whole movement going on where it's about like we all have masculine and feminine energy inside of us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it's about like finding where your balance lies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But your real balance, not what society tells you, not
Absolutely.
what you think you should, not what your friends think, not that. Where your real balance lies, and respect that and embrace it. You know? So I guess that's what I like about the whole like gender neutral thing going on, because it lets people like find their own balance, you know? But as in anything, I think, in our society, is that in order for us to find balance, we always go from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
You know? So now we're kind of saying it's like, you know, there are no differences, and, you know, a man and a woman, they're the same. You know? It's like, no, we're equal, but we're different.
Exactly.
That's what I
and
call
it's
compliment one
embracing,
another.
yes,
That's
and embracing
everybody.
that, and being comfortable with the fact, you know, a man is masculine and a woman is feminine. I see a lot of women nowadays not feeling comfortable in their femininity. They feel they have to be like men. You don't have to be like a man.
Can I just say one thing about this entire thing?
Please.
Yeah.
This is Steven, or Voice, is what we're gonna call me.
He's back!
You know, Voice is beautiful paint art, right?
Oh my God.
This
Like
is
it up.
Terrible, but I appreciate
But just in case you didn't hear it,
beautiful pain.
Pain is not you.
Okay, so this is my whole take. This is how to date. It's very simple. Ready, guys? Everybody, just be your goddamn selves. Okay,
Yes.
stop trying to be.
high five.
Stop trying to be someone else. Stop trying to pretend to be something
Yes.
else. I hate that shit. Okay, you know
Me
what?
too.
I hate it. No, shoot.
Aw.
I go to a club or something, and I'm just chilling, and the girl's like, "Oh man, he's black and he's chilling. Yo, he's gonna like me if I act this specific way." Girl come to me and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, "Hey, nothing." And she'll be like, "Yo, I'm gonna suck a dick." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
What?
But it's true.
Ladies,
True.
no.
People act different because they think that if they act a specific way, that they're gonna get what they want. But then it's like you're putting up like a facade, so it won't last.
Okay.
You're not real. The person might respond like, "Yeah, you like this," and like a month later, you're like, "Yo, you're kind of soft. I thought you were hard." Like, so like people just be yourselves.
Just be yourself.
I have a question for you right here directly. So a lady, hypothetically, comes to you and goes, "I want to suck your dick," whatever, you know, however she says, and and then let's say you accept the offer.
right way.
You accept the offer, and then like a month later, she's all like, "Well, I kind of like unicorns and pink fluffy towels, and I cry at night." You know, like it's kind of weird. But the fact that you even went there with the lady, which maybe she really does like to, you know, just meet you and say, "I surmised you and thought your dick was very suckable, and I want." If she did that, is that the kind of lady that you're picking
No,
up?
but see, like, because everyone's different. Maybe there's gonna be some guy that's gonna be like, "Yo, man, straight up, yep," and be like, and that's him. But like, I'm the kind of person where, like, I don't know, I want to talk to someone first. I want to get to know the person. Like, personally, ladies, I'm the kind of person. If you're gonna go on a date, we're not having sex at night. I'm sorry, we're not.
Are you sorry? You don't have to be sorry.
But yeah, exactly. Because I don't know you, haven't gotten to know you, and for me, that's like a step that I don't want to take yet. Because for me, that's like sex is a much bigger thing than just whang bang.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
You heard
Like,
that?
You don't know what
shit.
kind of energy you're taking in. Like, shit.
Have
It's
you
an
always been
exchange.
like that?
Yeah,
Or is it now that you're older?
No, like it's kind of a way I've always been, kind of way I've seen things. I think in the past I've made dumb decisions.
We all have.
We have all made dumb
Did you
decisions.
feel like Did you feel like you felt that you were pressured to be that kind of person that would make a decision like that?
No, you make dumb decisions. You go through different phases in your life, and then you kind of. I feel like life is all about finding a balance. Like you kind of go through different things until you eventually find that like middle ground. You're just like, yeah, this is who I am.
Mhm.
And I don't know, like people just be yourselves because there's nothing more. Like I, for example, I've been on dates with girls, and then you know, halfway through the date, the girl says, "You know what?" I'm like, "What?" It's like, "You're much different than I thought you would be." I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "Well, you're an artist, and see what music you do. I assume that you're gonna be one of those like, yeah, what's up, bitch?" Like kind of guys, and you're a really nice guy. And then they go like, "You're a really nice guy," and then it kind of opens up their mind, and it realizes there are some good people out there. And it's just like because I'm myself, I'm who I am, and suddenly, and so at that point, she kind of lets down her like facade, and she's herself. I think just people just be yourselves, and I think everyone's gonna be happier. Like I've seen girls or guys, they go on a date, they really like each other, and the next day text her right now. Is it too early? It's like
Oh my
if
God.
you want to text her,
Just tag
text.
that person.
But the thing is,
Yes.
it is tough though. Like, okay, so we're saying be yourself, right? When you're growing up in society, I've noticed looking into yourself and looking after yourself and thinking about yourself is most of the time it's seen as selfish. People say you're being selfish. You need to think about other people. Forget about that. Focus on what other people want, what they expect from you, blah, 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 blah. By the time you become an adult, people are like, it's all about you. How come you don't know who you are? And then people are like, be yourself. And people don't know how to be themselves. And it's a process. Yeah. It's crazy. It's like, and also we have to accept sometimes you're going to be yourself. And it's not going to work for that person.
Because that person's not for you.
Exactly. But the thing is, we don't accept that. So we're like, oh, but maybe if I change this, then maybe because I really want that right now, I'm going to adjust that and I'm going to adjust that. And that's where we kind of get lost. So it's just, it's like, it's a journey. How can we say this? It's a journey.
Okay, so I think it brings us to our
question.
Yeah.
I would like it. When you first meet someone, okay, we could all agree the first minute, it's physical, right? You see someone that's pleasing to your eyes. Then you approach the person. Personally, my part of when I wanted to get to know you is after we've exchanged numbers, we've talked already. But when you approach me, there is an element of someone not being themselves in the sense what we call game.
It's your best friend.
But wait, I want a guy to have a bit of game, in quotes, when he approaches me.
Yeah, but you're like somebody who knows that he has game. That
you gotta have a bit of game.
It's a level of intelligence playing with people. Like playing. It's the art of playing.
It's the art of flirtation.
But yes, it's flirt. I need
so
that.
not so much game as flirtation.
Well, it could be different things. It could
seducing you.
Yes, seducing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that nowadays is called game. Okay?
Oh, it's seducing people. Don't
right.
be scared.
So that could be done in different ways. That could be, wordplay. That could be bantering. That could be all kind of stuff. I need that. I need to be stimulated like that when you approach me. Like if you just come up to me and you're like, hey, what's up? I go to school or I work or this or that or, it's like, okay.
Boring.
But
you know what I mean? Like, approach me in a way where it's like, hey, flirt with me a little bit, banter, whatever.
First of all, I need to know that we're not just friends.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But see, that's
don't approach me like a buddy.
No, I know, but see, that's why I think it's important for people to be who they are because there will be some guys that will come up to you and be like, hey, I go to school, I do this, I think you're pretty good. Be like, because it's just not for you.
No, it's not for me. That's what I said.
Exactly. But he might meet another girl and he might be like, hey, blah blah blah, school, and she'd be like, oh, I go to this, and they just click.
It's
right.
So that's why
it depends on the personality.
But you start to attract the person that's like that.
You're right because the person that would approach me, let's say, with wordplay or bantering, that is a part of his personality.
Yeah, exactly.
right? So that appeals to me.
Yeah.
So you're right. In a way, you are being yourself. But what I was saying is like, you know, opposed to someone that would like the guy that came up to her and said, well, my name is so-and-so and I work here and I like traveling. Okay, I don't need to know all of that in the first hour I met you.
Yeah.
You know, like, could you stimulate my mind? Could you stimulate...
Okay, so this brings us to our next topic.
Yes.
You know?
Oh,
so we already know what kind of man Sybil likes.
Yeah.
You know, alpha males that seduce her mind.
Poetic bounty.
Poetic justice. Poetic justice. So we already know. Okay, so like what kind of man do you like?
What's your type?
What's your type? Okay, so if I'm going to speak myself, since I took the field, I don't believe in types.
Okay.
I don't think, like, you know, some people are like, yo, like, you know, I don't know, I'm not going to date that girl, I'm not going to date that guy. She's not my type, or he's not my type.
But do they mean physical or...
Most of the time they do.
You mean physical usually when they say type.
But
what's your definition of type?
Yeah.
But I don't... You know what? That's the thing. When people say type, I think that like it's like I feel like it's such a generalization. You know what I mean? It's like a type. It's like, yo, I dated like a short dude with like tattoos, and you know, and I dated like a tall guy that like, you know, loves computers, or like an athlete.
Me too.
But do you know what I mean?
Too.
Like so many different. And I think that it's like. Or like they're like, oh no, I don't want to meet, you know, I'm not interested in that girl. She's not my type.
But you see, like physically, I agree with you. I've dated different type of men.
Mm-hmm.
But when you guys are saying, oh, we know your type, okay, and you said alpha male, you're not talking physical.
I kind of am though.
Yeah.
There is a similarity. If you look at the pictures, they all have the picture. Picture, 6-pack or more.
I am coming for you.
Wait, hold on. I want to ask the boy.
Under the
We don't
bus
want to say
tonight.
how tall you are, but it's like real though.
Okay,
it's
no,
like,
it's true. I do like tall men.
Yeah.
They literally put her under like we're going now.
Yes.
What just happened?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, no. There's no reason to apologize. You know, like physical, there are different types, but it's true that my type is alpha.
So do you, Voice, do you have a type? Do you believe in types?
Oh.
Yeah, I think everybody's attracted to something. I don't think physically, I don't know what my type is, but I think I know what my type is mentally and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I like a girl that's ambitious and kind of has a thing going on for herself and like doesn't just absorb. Because the thing I hate the most is someone that just takes physically from you, but just absorbs and just kind of like
energy vampires.
Yeah, like
they
people
just
that
suck you dry.
they just no ounce of ambition or creativity or anything like that in them. So like they're
they project it onto you, like
not even exactly. Just they're always fascinated by what you're doing.
Yeah.
You keep talking, but they don't have anything to give back.
Offer.
Yeah.
So you just feel like I like being with someone that will challenge me at the same time, will make me feel
absolutely
like
you
being
grow.
better.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need someone that challenges me.
But is that a type?
Yeah,
it is.
Because, for instance, I a man that I have a very strong personality.
No.
Yes,
Really?
I swear.
Damn.
I know that.
Where's the Bible? I'll swear on it. I have a very strong personality, so that's why I prefer also being with an alpha male, but also because I need to be challenged on all levels.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely bored, and I can't be. Like, stimulate me on all levels.
Okay, so basically, would you say that all alpha males are your type?
No.
Okay.
No, absolutely not.
But your type is alpha male.
Yes.
Okay.
So within that category,
Mm-hmm.
you know, obviously it doesn't mean I'll go for any alpha male. No. But am I going to go with the passive guy? No. The regular Joe Blow? No. It's not. No. I need the alpha male. I'm very feminine too.
I feel like
I
we're
have
doing
a
an
very
acting casting.
No, very
General
feminine
Joe
energy,
Blow.
right? So it has to balance out somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to what Voice said. I need
You have to
challenge.
be challenged.
I absolutely need
But
challenge.
can't you be challenged by any kind of person? It doesn't have to be a type.
I can,
Do
but
you know
not
what I'm
on
saying?
every level.
What is your type?
I don't have a type.
Not
I don't
your type.
believe
Sorry,
in type.
your sign.
Virgo.
I'm a Virgo.
Oh,
2 Virgos.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's it. Go on. Please proceed.
Me? Okay, can I just say something? I'm learning, that I don't know. I think at first it was very safe to go with guys that are more passive, more gentle, a little less, basically I walk all over them. And I don't realize that that's what I just feel safe. It feels safe. I feel like I'm in control of the situation and I understand what's happening. And I didn't know that's what it was, but now I understand, and at first I was comfortable with that, but I'm realizing my type is changing as I'm growing and evolving. And I'm like, okay, my type is not about what I want, but it's more about what I need to feel fulfilled, and I realized that, it's necessary for me. I don't know. I'm not going to say he has to be black. He has to be black. Because you know what? I do believe that you do put you put out whatever you want to attract. And chances are you will attract that. But do you really want that? You're not sure. And then it arrives and you're like, I really did not want that. I'm sorry, universe. Take it back. It's happened to me many, many times over.
I returned. Right? I personally think the whole thing between, wanting like black, whatever, like wanting a specific ethnicity
that'll fuck you up.
It's like you're cutting yourself
so short.
But
it's so important to be equals. It can't be. I don't like the whole. As much as it might be comfortable, and before I thought it was my type, without really consciously knowing that, it's more important to me to feel like I'm with an equal than to be like, I got this under control. Like I'm leading this. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes your type is not in your comfort zone. It's like right outside your comfort zone.
Well, that's why I think types are like, I think saying type to me again is limiting.
Well, there's a way of looking at it. For example, at any point in time in your life, you can have a clear definition of what it is that you're looking to experience next. Like maybe you could say you don't know what's going to look like when you're 60 or what you were like when you're 13, but in this time, sometimes you're like just rambling out there and you just bump into someone and you're like, I didn't expect you to be a ginger, 6'2" and skinny and Jewish. That's a lot. But I'm here,
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll be in a space where you're just kind of going, but there are times when you're like, I know what I want. I want to experience this.
Mm-hmm.
I like a pretty face. I don't know. All the people in my family are pretty. I can't start looking at an ugly face. And I'm not saying,
that's
someone
good,
loves you.
actually.
You're God's child. You're beautiful. But I have a look. I like that look.
Yeah.
I want to see it again.
Yeah.
Beauty is a good topic.
I'm shallow.
No, it's a good topic because I've been told by friends, not you guys actually, but I've been told by other friends that, that I might have an issue because every man I date is very good looking.
But you're pretty.
Wait, and they're like, well, you should just, how about a guy that has a great personality and that has this and has that, but he's not like a very good looking guy. I'm sorry, I will just say it if that sounds shallow or not. I need to be physically attracted to you and also with my eyes.
And beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
And well, you know what? Yeah, they happen to all be very good looking men. I'm proud of that.
And that's the thing, that's the beauty of it. Okay, so like attracts like, right? Mm-hmm. We have to be honest with what we want. True. You were born with those desires, you know? Like, you did not invent those desires. The dude who's there and he's like, I want a fine-ass woman with, like, perky tits and blah, 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 blah. There's a reason for that. Maybe his soulmate is exactly that. And if he was there being like, well, you know what? No, I don't actually want a really good-looking woman. I want any woman who...
I want good conversation.
Right, exactly. We need to be honest and really...
That's all important for me, too.
We need to zero in.
I agree with you.
Zero in on what you like.
I agree with you.
Zero in
but there's like a huge conversation about that because you said that like you didn't invent those desires, but like there's a big thing called media.
Yeah.
Okay? And that thing, that machine, that God, you know, will implant anything they need to implant
but you can
in your
break
mind.
away from that eventually.
You can totally break away from it.
You have to be aware of it.
But exactly. Yeah. So I agree with you. There's a part of you that's real. There's a part of you that's your real, like, innate desire. You know, you were born with that. Mm-hmm. But there's also stuff that's like, you know, you saw a magazine, you turned on the TV, you went on Facebook. You know what I mean?
She's hot. She's gorgeous. But you know what?
Rihanna's hot.
I also knew girls who were... different looking, a little shorter before, bigger bums, and the bums are in now. But that said, like, she was just one type that was like really put in my head that she needs to be tall and skinny and very pretty. I like pretty girls, and with a cute little bum. But it was implanted in us. She was acceptable because she kind of looked like the models.
Exactly. So like that's why I believe a type is limiting.
That's why I always say stuff like, I may not like cheesecake, but that doesn't mean I will not like any cheesecake down the line. It doesn't mean that eventually I won't find a piece of cheesecake. I'm like, this is good, like, so I don't know. I think it's about being aware of what you want, but also not being afraid to see what else is out there.
That's great way to wrap it up.
I totally agree.
Yes,
and there's nothing wrong with having standards.
Right.
Yeah. What do you want in a girl?
If you can, I just want someone that's ambitious and that can, like, I can feed off just as much as so stimulate each other. But at the same time, I don't know, like, I'm people look at me because I'm a musician. People just assume like, he's just a musician and all he wants to talk about is music 24/7. But like, I love space. I love math. I want to meet a girl that I can sit down on top of my roof, look into the stars, and I can talk about space, and her eyes would just glaze over. Like,
Did
you hear that? That's what he likes.
That's what.
So if you're out there, hello.
So, Voyce, are you single right now?
I am single right now. Yes.
Ladies, single.
You
beautiful pain.
I was gonna say. You might say it's my beautiful pain.
And on that note, guys, that was Voyce. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. It was amazing.
So awesome. Mwah.
Y'all, thank you so much for joining our happy hour. We've had such a great time on our first episode of Let's Talk About It. We shall be with you next week.
Stay tuned.
Mwah. Bye, guys.
Tune in for the next episode of Let's Talk About It.